Um, I am here to talk to you guys about Minecraft. Have you guys had any experience playing at home? No? Yes? No?
I've watched over the shoulder.
Sure.
Seen YouTube videos. That's more.
Okay. Do you guys play on computers or consoles or tablets? Okay. Cool. So we're going to talk about a little bit of both. Minecraft's available for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, all pretty much any game playing device that you can have. So I'm trying to cover everything. But the first thing is getting comfortable with Minecraft. The easiest way to talk to your kids about Minecraft is going to be getting to know the Minecraft basics, what it is, what's happening on the screen, so that you can have a real conversation with them about it. The who, what, when, why, and where or why and how of Minecraft are crucial to understanding why kids really enjoy it, why teachers use it in their classrooms, why libraries have it here in the why we use it here in the library for different programs. So first, I was just going to give you guys a little bit of the basics of what Minecraft is, how it came to be, and why that really matters. This guy, Marcus Persson, he's a programmer from Stockholm. He is the creator of Minecraft. I found this really interesting fact about him, that he actually started programming on his father's Commodore 128 when he was 7 years old. He started working on Minecraft when he was in his 20s and created the gaming company Mojang in 2009. Minecraft and Mojang together were sold when he was 34 years old, and he made $2.5 billion off of it. So clearly his coding career that started as a child has really been very valuable for him, which is kind of interesting. So what is it? Minecraft is an open world sandbox video game. What that means is that there are no objectives set by the game itself. The only objectives are set by the players. The game is infinite. It means that if you open a world, any world in Minecraft, and start walking in one direction, the game will infinitely generate around you. So there is no end to Minecraft ever, essentially. You're never going to run out of things to do and explore. So Minecraft has been around since 2009. That's when the demo version was first released. In November of 2011, it was finally released as a complete game, although they patch it and new versions are being constantly developed and updated all the time for download. I just wanted to go through really quickly and show you the different versions of Minecraft that there have been, because I think it's really interesting to see how it's developed just over the past few years. This screenshot here is from when it was just known as Cave Game in 2009. And then that was in May of 2009. By September of 2009, it had gone this far. This is its alpha stage. Then it was released in beta in 2010, so about a year later. And then this is Minecraft 1.0, and it was finally sold as a game in November of 2011. It looks a lot more familiar, a lot more like what we see today. So that's sort of been the cycle of Minecraft. Right now we're on version 1.9. If you're playing at home, here at the library we run 1.710. And we do that because it's a stable build, which means that there's not as many bugs or like little fixes that constantly need patching. Minecraft EDU is actually what we run at the library. The difference there is that Minecraft EDU allows for an admin side that essentially lets us control, you can freeze the students. It sort of allows for more of a classroom setting as opposed to just like free play. And it gives you just that little extra bit of control. But that is the only difference. There is nothing that Minecraft itself has that Minecraft EDU doesn't have. Minecraft EDU, like I said, was designed for classroom use. It has enhanced maps and coordinates and ways for teachers and students to find each other. I was just reading an article, actually, we just sent that out, but that was just Minecraft EDU was finally just purchased also by Microsoft. So now Microsoft owns the whole kit and caboodle, so it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of months how that develops, what they allow us to do and not do. So why Minecraft? Minecraft is become so popular and has stayed so popular, like we showed. It's kind of been around since 2009. It's 2016 now. That's incredible staying power for a video game, any sort of technology really. Minecraft is all about accessibility. It's unique among its competitors because there are three main reasons that everybody can access it. First, it's a single cost, as opposed to many online games you have to pay monthly or buy a subscription. You just pay the one time to download the game. Secondly, it's not graphics intensive. I know a lot of people come in and they're like, that looks horrible for a video game. Like, why are we using this? Why do kids want to play it? But it's not graphics intensive, which means you can run it on phones, tablets, really, really old computers. You can run it on an MS-DOS machine if you want to. I don't know why you would, but you could if you needed to. And finally, the source code is available to the public, which means people can write their own codes and create their own games with it. It's a good framework. And that sort of modding is encouraged by Minecraft's parent company, Mojang, and Microsoft. Minecraft mods and resource packs are extremely, extremely popular and fairly common. Mods actually impact gameplay in a lot of ways, generally adding features to the game, and then resource packs change things like aesthetics and appearance. So that's what I have up here. This is a resource pack that somebody downloaded that adds the reflection and the water, looks very realistic. And then there's an aircraft simulator mod that you can play. You can download and build yourself an airplane and then play in the airplane, and it has your altimeters and all that stuff, which I think is really interesting. This is another mod, Computer Craft. This is one that we're actually using here at the library. We're going to do some programs with it in the next few weeks. It teaches coding using the little robot guy who's up top there. He's known as a turtle. And down here you can see the coding screen. So it's a drag and drop coding, so for basic coding education. And then next to it is the code editor, which once you have things filled in, when you click the code editor, it actually allows you to see the physical code that you've written by using the drag and drop system. Computer Craft, like everything with Minecraft, is pretty much free. And I definitely recommend it. So we are going to be using that more here at the library in the future. Hunger Games is a really popular mod. I just wanted to bring it up because a lot of kids ask for it here at the library. It's based on the book series Hunger Games, but it's different mods that people have built that when you spawn in, you'll spawn in one of the spots. You don't have to run forward and get your items and run out, just like in the Hunger Games, and play on it. So that's something that I think a lot of kids really know about, and it's a good tournament-style gameplay for if you're running a server. So Minecraft and education, before we get into trying our hands at Minecraft, there are a couple of things I want you to be on the lookout for as you play. These 5 things are part of the reason a lot of teachers, librarians, and parents really, really love Minecraft, and I encourage kids playing it. It's why we use it in classrooms. Minecraft engages in this really great, like, sneaky learning that we want all of our children's media to have. Even if your kids never get beyond just playing Minecraft, if they don't want to code, if they don't want to mod things, they don't want to explore, they just want to fight things and collect items, they will get out of it a pretty good understanding of spatial awareness. Minecraft, just like the real world, is very limiting in terms of where you can go if there are things in front of you or around you or above you. The thing I see most often is kids trying to jump and they can't, and I'm like, well, look up. Is there something standing on top of your head? And they're like, oh, yeah, there is. So spatial awareness, which is really important, especially for younger kids. Creative and critical thinking, obviously, anytime you run into a problem in the world, you're going to have to figure out a way around it. And because Minecraft isn't goal-based, there's not any sort of tutorial that will say, like, hey, maybe you should try this. There's nothing. You have to figure it out for yourself. When you're playing alone, I find it very, very challenging. 3D design. Everything in Minecraft is 3-dimensional cubes, and the cubes are meant to be a meter by a meter. So meter square, I should have said that. So in terms of design, I mean, the things that you can create in Minecraft are really endless. People have created scale replicas of architectural wonders, and then they've created, you know, dungeons and really cool things. Resource management. When you play Minecraft in survival mode, you start with nothing, and you have to eat, otherwise you'll die. And you also have to find a home, otherwise you'll die. And it's very, very intense. When we put kids in it for the first time, a lot of times if they want to try survival mode, you know, as soon as night falls, the monsters will come out. And if they haven't collected food or made a way to protect themselves, they inevitably die. And it's hard for a lot of kids to understand that, like, no, you really have to work for this. So resource management is one that I think is really kind of interesting. And basic circuitry. So Minecraft has a whole thing called redstone. If your kids use redstone at all, that redstone works like wires do, and you can make powered lights and rail carts and monorails and all kinds of things for your mines. And it's really basic level stuff. As soon as you start digging far enough to get redstone, you can do that. The bonus skills I put there for if your kids are playing on servers, or they're playing with their siblings, or just with other kids here at the library, they're getting bonus courses in communication and collaboration for sure. Setting two kids in different places in the world and watching them try to find each other is incredible. I mean, really, truly, as a librarian, seeing two kids talk to each other and try to figure out, well, I'm here by this thing, where are you? Like, okay, if I go this far, do you see me yet? Like, it's very, very interesting, and I think you learn a lot about your kid just by kind of watching them try to parse out the world. So I did put a couple of examples of things here that people have built that I thought were pretty incredible. This is the interior of a functioning computer. It had 136-bit program memory and 24 bits of RAM. This is the outside of that computer that someone built in the game. It's a functioning computer, it does basic math. This is an architectural courtyard that someone built that I think is really lovely. They use your resource package, that like a reflective thing down there at the bottom. And this is the exterior of that courtyard, which is pretty amazing. This is a working digital clock that tells the time that someone programmed in-game using circuits, which look like this. So that's the redstone I was just talking about in little triggers that they figured out how to time it just so that the clock would be the exact same as real time. I think it's really great. This is, if you watch Game of Thrones, a group of people got together and made this scale model of the main city, King's Landing, in Game of Thrones. It's got a resource pack on there for the water and stuff, but especially if you look down at the cliffs, you can see the individual little Minecraft blocks there. And this one I like even better because you can see little cutie trees. But that's the other side of King's Landing. So Minecraft itself definitely has, like I said, the possibilities are really, really endless when it comes to what you can do with the game if you're willing to try. And like I said, even if you're not willing to try, it does all those amazing things anyway. So we're going to really quick talk about how to play. Your kids can either play single player, in which a player will create their own world and play by themselves. No network connection is needed to play single player. Once you choose to create your own world, you'll be given options as to what type of world you want it to be, whether you want it to be creative or survival. The customization can be pretty basic. It can just be that. Or you can go into advanced options and change, like if you want animals in your world or other people in your world, or, you know, all the way down to the nitty gritty. If you want weather in your world or no weather. A multiplayer is a little bit different, a little bit more complicated. A player can connect to servers and play with other people online or in a network. I know on tablets they have like a local Wi-Fi connection that you can jump on and play with people who are on your same Wi-Fi connection. So that's pretty cool. Calvert Library uses its own network, so people playing at different branches can play with each other. We all connect into the same servers, which are all here at the library. So the game modes are survival. Obviously, that was when I was talking about our players have to collect their own resources and craft their own items. They have to maintain their health and hunger. Mobs, which are monsters, will spawn at night or in dark places and will try to eat you. It's a little bit traditional video game. Creative mode, players have access to unlimited resources in any item in the game. You don't even have to create a pick. You can just destroy things with one hit. Hardcore is like survival, but if you die, you don't get to come back. You have to start over. In survival mode, if you die, you'll go back to the spawn and all of your items will drop wherever you died. So if you can't get back to it fast enough, they will disappear, but it is a little bit gentler. Like I said, if you're playing single player, you'll select your own game mode. On a server, the game mode is going to be predetermined by whoever set up that server. There are a couple of game modes that aren't listed up here just because they're not as popular. Adventure mode is one, and adventure mode operates a little bit more like a classic video game with quests and different things like that. Usually those are found in servers where people have set it up to be that way. So there's like usually an objective and things like that. The second is spectator mode, which is exactly what it sounds like. You can't do anything, but you can look around. Which, you know, might be interesting. So now we're gonna play. So you guys are already logged into some servers, or to my server that I'm running here. And let me actually, so like I said, Minecraft is a two-handed game. You can either use your mouse or you can use the trackpad on our laptops. But let's see. Are you both right-handed? Okay. So then in that case, your left hand will use the WASD keys on your keyboard, and your right hand will use the mouse. So think of your WASD keys as your directional keys and your mouse as sort of like your head. It's what you look at, kind of where you go, and that sort of thing. So you can move yourself around, practice walking, that sort of thing. So once you've gotten the hang of moving around, yeah. So E or I will open your inventory. You open your inventory and I open you don't really have anything. And then the same buttons will close it. So just get off spacebar will jump or swim. That's a little pager for next to you, has lots of information on it. Numbers 1 through 9 will give you your item bar. So anything that you access will be right there. Escape pauses the game. Just for you, yeah. Everyone else is to be around, going on around you. So you guys are in a multiplayer server right now. So you could find each other. You shouldn't be that far away from each other when you all spawn in. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Are you moving? Oh, there it is. So yeah. So also if you could escape, I did want to talk about this for a second. You'll see your options. If you click on that, that's where you're going to be able to change the controls. A lot of kids, especially depending on how old they are, and if they have smaller hands, changing the controls will allow you to really customize anything, you know, in terms of keyboard, mouse. You can edit, you know, what buttons do everything. A lot of kids, we change that for a lot of kids, especially if they have smaller hands, or yeah, or if they're more comfortable. If they play other games, a lot of times matching the controls is something that's really helpful for them. So I like that. Also, for that video settings, if your computer's having a hard time running things, you can smooth, you know, change your layers, change your frame rate, all of that stuff, just to make it more accessible and easier for everyone to be crafting too. No, you can get it correct. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it will sound like.
Yeah.
It was probably the sound.
Absolutely.
Since you couldn't, there used to use commands.
Yeah. You can do all of the command stuff. Is pretty straightforward, I mean, and it'll all be done in the chat bar. So if you go back to your game, we'll do chat next. So that T will open your chat, and you'll see the most recent things that have happened, and then to chat something, you would just type it in and hit enter. And then you'll see that bar there, and that will fill up with things that happen. If people die, it shows up in the chat, that kind of thing. Let's see. I don't have you on creative mode right now, but if I did, you would open up all of your resources. So to close, yeah, there you go. Close chat, you can hit escape or you can hit enter when it's empty and it'll. So what I'm going to have you do now is I'm going to have you break down a tree. So to do that, what you would do is you walk up to a tree and you'll hold left click. You'll have to hold. Oh, you know what? I bet it's because
I can eventually get that. I'm gonna taste that. It's the green mode, you can't really chop down trees.
That's fair. I fixed it. You should be okay now. Okay. Yeah.
The change is not holding down.
Yeah. So if you just hold it, if you hold, there you go. So you can see the cracks forming and then it'll explode, and then
Yeah, it's different.
so once you collect enough once you collect enough different items, you'll be able to craft with it. If you open up your inventory again, you'll see that there's a little crafting grid up there that's 4 squares. If you fill each of those 4 squares with a block of wood, it will give you a crafting table. So crafting is one of those resource management things, and especially in survival mode, you can't do anything unless you can fill that crafting table with different items. Oh, you probably should be. Just one in first, yeah. And then 4 of those. It's getting dark. So because you guys are playing together, Robin actually built a crafting table, so you can always use hers too. So if you right click on the crafting table, you'll see that the crafting grid is bigger. That means you can make more items with it. With a 4x4 crafting or a 2x2 crafting grid, you're not able to make that much. With a 3x3, you'll be able to make anything in the game. So it really opens up your possibilities there. I think one of the misconceptions about Minecraft is that it's easy. And I think it can be. So, yeah, we want those planks. Yeah, if you just take the 4 planks out, you'll leave, it'll just make the one set. And so you'll want 1 plank in each square to make a crafting table. Right. So it'll save your ingredients, and then if you pull that one out, it'll take this one.
So, any rock to make anything else?
Sure, won't really make anything.
I was just thinking, I was trying to make an axe.
You can make an axe and a pick out of wood. You only need planks and sticks. Sticks are made with 2 planks on top of each other. Yeah, so you put 2 planks. And so these are kind of things that once you start playing, you're like, oh yeah, that's how I make sticks, and that's how all the basics will kind of come to you. And the crafting is interesting because they kind of make it so that it's once you sort of start to figure it out, it makes sense when you make certain things that are in certain shapes and that kind of thing. So a pick is 2 sticks and then 3 planks on top. So it's in the shape of a pick. And everything is like that in the game. It's try to make it kind of,
Plans for that?
yeah. So yeah, you need wood for anything, and then once you start mining, you can have access to stone and wood and lots of other things. So that is that part. So now that I fully distracted you with playing Minecraft, I have a couple of other things to talk about, and then I was going to let you guys play for a few minutes and see if you can figure out different things and what to do. But the next thing I want to talk about is really important, and it's internet safety. So when your kids are playing Minecraft, I often hear at the library, I see parents just put the kids on Minecraft and then kind of walk away. And we pride ourselves in being a very safe place here at the library, and I think that it's really important to know that we do try to keep an eye on things. However, our servers are public servers, and anybody can be on them anytime. Similarly, if your kids are playing and they're using their tablet and they're just connected to our Wi-Fi, if anybody is on their tablet connected to our Wi-Fi also playing Minecraft, they have the option to be in the same server. And so it's just important to remember that if you're in any public place, if you don't know everybody who's connected to the Wi-Fi, then just be aware that your kids can be playing with anybody. We also, I think I see a lot of kids, especially here at the library, they log in with their real name because they're so excited. And it's always important to remember, try not to log in with your real name, make up a cool fake name. Make sure your kids know not to use their real name on any servers they're using at home either. Never give out any personal information, of course. If someone is using inappropriate language or making someone feel uncomfortable when they're playing here at the library, please get a librarian who should be able to help you sort it out immediately. If someone is playing at home or on a different public server, or if they're connecting online, which you can do, a lot of people online will give out server addresses. So like for the Hunger Games server I showed earlier, that you can find just server addresses. People will be like, oh, come play in our King of the Hill server. And you put in that server address and you don't know who you're playing with. It could be anyone. So we just remind parents to tell their kids, if you're playing at home, if you're playing on a public server, and something happens and makes you feel uncomfortable, people are asking you questions, log off the server and tell an adult, make sure that everybody knows what's where. A lot of times if that happens, servers will have places, if they're a well-run server, that you can report that kind of information on. So to run a server?
For your client to access a service, what is the firewall requirement?
So it depends on the server.
What I'm asking is, obviously you use this PIP. Is it a secure socket? Does it require any special course protocols?
You mean for the library server?
Anybody's service?
So it is, I think it's just right that
Each server is set up different.
Could set up their own equations at the server up to allow.
One of the things, the reasons why I ask is, as I was watching this, when you were talking about going on privacy.
Yes, absolutely. So when you, we set the server at home, and there's a tutorial for how you do it, and it said, if you don't know what you're doing, go do this, because you really.
What I sent was file sharing in the front.
Yes.
Right.
So they can actually either get infected with viruses, malware, whatever, or you can lose your information, which can copy information.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You're set up, it wasn't really wanting me to set it up so that this friend call the counter and play from home, and they can have the same problem. So I had to set up, if Connor's at home, at my house, he can play on my computer, husband can go, but I don't allow it to go down. So but there are plenty that do.
Right, and there are plenty that do, and I mean, we have some people here who connect to their friend servers from the library address because they know the server address. And the only thing that has to match in that way is whatever you're running, whatever your client has, the server also has to have. So like we can't connect to 0.9 servers here, we can only connect to 0.710 or less. We can't connect anything.
Backwards.
Yeah, it's all backwards, but it's not forwards. So, but really it's just, if you find a server that you feel like is reliable, that you can trust, the people on, then by all means, but if you don't, just like anything else. Cyberbullying, obviously an issue if you're gonna, not obviously an issue, it could be an issue if you're playing multiplayer.
There's a word for it.
Griefing.
Griefing.
Yeah. So griefing is when essentially you do something to cause someone else grief. And a lot of times at the library it'll happen accidentally. We have a lot of new players, kids who haven't played before, so they'll be running around destroying things, and the next thing you know, you hear someone's destroying my house, and you're like, oh, they probably don't mean to be destroying your house. So that's something that we sort out here a lot. But it is something that in Minecraft, you have TNT. Why not blow things up? And that can be an issue. We don't allow TNT or fire here at the library for that very reason. We try to minimize that. If your kids are playing and that happens to them, obviously we just say, be supportive. There's not a lot you can do except unless you can contact the person who's running the server and say, hey, this issue keeps happening.
But it's a learning experience too.
But it is a learning experience, absolutely, and it's one of those things that when it happens in our library programs, we talk it out and we put the kids face to face and we're like, hey, did you know that you just broke that thing that he spent 20 minutes making? That doesn't really make him feel very good. We try to talk about that anonymity that the computer gives you. We try to kind of lessen that a little bit when we have all the kids together in one room. It's also important to remember that depending on where you get your statistics, the average age of gamers, not necessarily Minecraft players, but gamers in general, is between 30 and 34 years old. So when your kids are connecting to servers or doing things like that, that's the age, that could be the age range of people they're playing with. I'm 26. I couldn't remember for a second. I have siblings and in-laws, in the age range between 34 and 17. And almost all of them play games that, of differing levels, and a few of them play Minecraft, and a few of them play on servers, and so, and that's not to say that those people will hurt your kids or be anything, but I just think a lot of times I think the way that I express myself when I get frustrated in a video game is not the same way a 10-year-old might express themselves. So there's a language issue, there's that kind of stuff too, that's just something to think about. So downloadables too is another thing to really be worried about, and I think that's what you were touching on. So mods and skins and resource packs, all those great things we were talking about earlier, they are available online. It's important to look at reputable, well-reviewed downloads. And it's also important to remember that not all mods work nicely together. Some of them sit on top of each other really well. There are two different mod sets. There are Forge mods and there are Bucket mods, and those are the design templates essentially that were used to create them. Forge mods and Bucket mods never play well together, and a lot of places will note them right on there. So this is a mod site that we recommend, or we don't recommend, that we use. I don't know that we can recommend anything in particular when it comes to this sort of thing. But you can see here, they're telling you what ones they play on. This is 1.6.2 and 1.8. There's 1.7.10, which is what we use here. And some of them are tagged with special things. So this one is a weapons mod. That one up there is a Forge mod, so we could use that Forge mod. And this website is pretty good about keeping an eye on stuff. And the forums there, if you click on any of these mods, it'll have links to all the people who put notes on them, whoa, this gave me bugs here and this did that, and so on and so forth. So you can search for different kinds of mod packs, but we have a few here at the library that we use are reptile mods that add different animals into the game. There's a Doctor Who mod for people who like the TV show Doctor Who. There's a Star Wars mod. There's all different kinds of things that you can add in to the game. Here's another one. Oh, I added this one because I thought it was interesting because there were these mods in order, and they just kind of give you a good perspective on what kind of things a mod can do. So the first one adds machines wireless transport coffee, chance hoppers, leaf blowers, plants, and more. The second one allows you to create force fields and zap stuff. The third one is an add-on meant to provide advanced solar panels. And then this one adds guns and stuff from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So it really runs the gamut in terms of, do you want to be adding solar panels to panel, to add energy to your waterfall, or do you want guns? And it can be anywhere in between. This is a different website that we do look at for mods when we're considering mods for the library and mod list. But again, when you go onto mod list, it'll have what version you're looking for, what kind of mods are listed. 1.9 just came out not even a month ago at this point. So that's why there's only 23 mods for it when I screenshotted this piece. And that is something you may want to also consider if you have it on your computers or even on your tablets, when you're updating versions, the older version you're using, the more stable it's going to be, the less bugs that are going to have, presumably. But then as you move forward, 1.9, for 1.9, I know there were issues with people hacking into it early on because it was so new and it's fresh and people want to pull it apart. So that's something else to think about. So in terms of connecting with your kids, not that knowing all this information isn't going to help immensely, because now you can have a conversation with them about it, which I think is really important. I think a lot of times it's easy to be dismissive of things that we're not interested in personally. And that doesn't just go for video games, that goes for everything in the world. If I'm not interested in that, I don't really want to talk to you about it. But when we're talking to our kids and to people that we care about, it's important to show, just like when our spouse comes home from work and we say, what did you do today? And they have to complain about Becky and how awful she is. You don't really care because you don't know Becky from anybody, but you care because you love them. So I think just talking to your kids, being willing to say, hey, what are you doing in my, what is that? Talk to me about it. Explain, ask them what you don't understand on the screen, ask them why, ask them how. I think that's a really big thing that I know a lot of people miss. So if you're willing to play Minecraft, if you're interested in playing, I definitely recommend letting your kid teach you here at the library. That's something we do a lot. Even though I'm sort of the Minecraft liaison here, there's a lot of things I don't know about Minecraft. I don't play it a lot in my spare time, not as much as I should. And so there's a lot of things that I'll have some kid upstairs be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. And I'm like, wait, how did you do that? Please explain it to me. So asking your kid to show you the ropes, if you sit in the driver's seat and teach them how to teach you, you're also giving them that skill of how to teach, which is really important. And kids, I think, that'll really benefit them. Let them guide you, and if you need to explain when, and if you need to, you can explain why you're getting frustrated or why you don't understand things. And I think that's really important. Play together simultaneously. Obviously, if you have the hardware, or if you can connect to the same server, hop in together and play. We have a couple of families who come in here to the library and do that because all of our computers are connected. So they'll sit right next to each other and play in the same world and work on projects and stuff. And obviously encourage exploration and play. So whether you're playing or not playing, ask them, how far can you go? Did you swim under there? What's in that cave? Those sort of things are very encouraging and great. If you're not able to play Minecraft, I know it gives some people headaches. It's not for everybody. Watch them play if you can. Get engaged. Treat it like watching a movie. Talk to them about the decisions they're making. Ask them about stuff that you don't understand. Like I said, just like we ask our significant others what they did at work, ask your kids what they did in Minecraft. A lot of people use it in schools now. A lot of classrooms use it. I know several of the middle schools have it, and they use it in their curriculums now. And, yeah. So we have one that we almost downloaded for us that's an ecology program that you put the kids in, and they have, because you can garden in Minecraft, so they're given seeds and they're taught about different irrigation systems because they build them in the game and they learn how different irrigation systems work. And there's a rainforest one. There's a lot of different ones. We have the World of Humanities on our servers, and what that is they've created, some teacher went in and created the 7 wonders of the world to scale. And so the kids can go in and explore, and they have little things that pop up that teach you about the history of different places and things like that. And then it's being used, I know, for basic circuitry and physics classes, because the circuitry works exactly the same as it does with wires and resistors and that sort of thing. So those are just a few of the ways, but there are curriculum pieces for it. So if that's something that you're interested in, those are mods you can just look up and download if you're interested in using it to teach something. Absolutely.
Towns and cities are using Sin City.
Yeah.
As a planning tool.
Yeah.
So if we allow this subdivision to be built, what do we need to do for power, what do we need to do for sanitation, water, roads?
Absolutely. It's a great way to learn about civic stuff. You can turn on, if you build a world, then you can turn on villagers. It will self-create towns. And then if you cut off like water supplies or that sort of thing, the towns will die out, like they'll go away because they need the water for planting and gardening. It's very fascinating. My favorite thing that I've seen done education-wise for it is a group of archaeologists built a 1-to-1 replica of the Forbidden City in China. They had found enough maps and stuff of it and ruins of it that they recreated what they thought it would look like and used it to explore what they thought it would be. And recently, a couple of archaeologists rebuilt a Scottish castle based on ruins. That was in the news a couple of months ago, that based on what they had, they recreated. So it's great for that 3D design aspect, those like that structure component. It's really, really fabulous for that sort of thing.
I was just saying, my son and his sister are very interested in women farming. So they
I like to build houses in the sky myself.
I was watching a presentation on the Samsung telephone, 3D.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there are already a couple of people. When I was looking to do this presentation, I was looking at different mods people are developing. A couple of people were actually on the forums going, does anybody have any experience with VR, with VR mods? And like, can you help us? We're trying to make a thing. And I was like, oh man, I don't know what's happening here. But I do know what's happening there. So that's sort of, if you're willing to do it on the computer. And then I wanted to talk about off the computer. So Minecraft is about a lot of things. It's about exploration and it's about creation. And so a lot of times I think we struggle to get our kids off the computer. So I wanted to come up with a couple of ways that we could incorporate those Minecraft-y things into real things, physical things. So here we have the Curiosity Workstation right out in the cafe. And that's a new thing that we recently got a grant for, but it's all about building and construction and different sort of using different tools to create different things. And so that's something that anytime we're open, obviously you can run it and use, but it has all different kinds of stuff to it, all different kinds of components. Papercraft Minecraft, making things out of paper, there are patterns that you can get online that will show you how to make different Minecraft things out of paper just by folding, almost like origami, and you can construct different cubes and different things. Blocks, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. Legos is the obvious connection, is buying and making Legos. Cardboard construction projects is becoming a really big thing for people who have extra cardboard, especially in the summertime, just to take some stuff outside and, get busy with it, just in terms of like gluing and duct tape and, their boxes. Kids like boxes. Minecraft proves that. And then I also added our library program, Check Out Your Community, for kids who like to explore, giving them a new area where they can run around that they maybe have never been before, that are relatively safe. There's the Embry Gardens, there's the Trails of Jefferson Patterson Park, or Flag Ponds. Might be a great way to spark that interest in your kids. And if they think that that's boring, they're like, I don't want to go on a hike, Give them a task or a challenge. I mean, that's why kids play video games, right? It's like, oh, I gotta go do the thing that's really cool. And if you give them some kind of task or challenge that's kind of interesting, whether it's finding a place to hang birdhouses or like, depending on their age level and their interest level, obviously, matching it to that. I always recommend doing the, geocaching as a way to explore. I think that's a community that's kind of alive that we often forget about. And then we were leaving here like a month ago and there were like 10 people standing out in the parking lot, like looking through our bushes because someone had hid something in there and had geocached with it. And that's one of those things that I often forget about until people are digging around with their cell phones out going, it's here, I know it's here. But I think it's that to me is something that if your kid loves Minecraft, loves that feeling of exploring, that's a great way to partner with them and say, yeah, let's go find something cool. Somebody hid something down at the beach. Let's go look for it. It's that connection.
She didn't say that, but check out we were program charity. Our website and get free tickets to Angular.
Yeah, to any of these places. So if you're like, oh, I would go to North Beach, but I don't live in the beaches. Yeah, so if you want to go to any of those places and you don't live in North Beach, but you don't want to pay for a beach pass, you can use one of our beach passes for free. So we always like to talk about that too. So that was that. Does anybody have any questions or comments or ideas?
Primary goal here was, I understand the internet from the worst possible. Okay?
Yeah.
There needs to be enough curiosity. I know what people can get into, either by mistake or on purpose. Putting up people who are out of jobs or with what is supposed to be harmless.
No, absolutely not. And that is, a big part of, like I said, the number of times that I've seen parents just be like, oh, you're on Minecraft, you're fine, and then just ignore their kids.
Oh, once I found out, I was a little bit more tonight, now I'm looking for, do some more research. The fact that you can transfer files with it opens up a whole new world.
Yeah.
Specifically, since that's what makes tablets so great, it's really limited.
Yeah.
Just because of the storage capacity. But now with cloud computing, that's kind of more rare.
Well, and I will say I like the way that the tablet multiplayer works, that you have to be on the same Wi-Fi connection. Yeah, and I like that, and I think that I feel like that's
using a non-mobile phone.
Yeah.
That's I have a friend of mine who lives over in Stafford, California. He's retired Marine Corps. I mean, one of the things, he's got kids about the same age as mine. College, and he's my age, so we went through the ringer raising 17-year-olds. He and I both done it. We raised hundreds of 17-year-olds. One of the things that he and I both noticed is we grew up as computers were just becoming word processing, that's all we could do, and few little stupid games. People have lost the ability for that 3D capability of understanding where those chemicals can be working, grow that. I want to build with that. How do I build with that? Okay. What is 16 on center? Okay. What is how many outlets are going to go? How does it internal combustion engine?
Right.
What's the difference between internal combustion? Gas and internal combustion. Okay. Things that the current crop of 13-year-olds never learned.
Right.
Unless they can figure out a way to build the internal combustion engine.
Right.
Interesting.
I do see.
Yeah, and you absolutely can, and I think it's something that for a lot of parents and for a lot of teachers, this is a good sort of like, it's almost like an in. Like, oh, hey, what if we tried this instead? Like, it's kind of that way to sort of get into it. I know of people who have modeled things in Minecraft. Like, I think I was talking to a mom they were talking about maybe building a tree house. And so they had their kids build what they wanted in Minecraft. They were like, okay, go get the wood and kind of build what you think you want it to be. And then we'll talk about how we would build it in real life. And it's one of those things that you can sort of transfer. It has that ability to be used for real things.
How about Fortnite?
Not really with Minecraft, which is exciting.
They have manual correct.
The reason why I asked is because it has chat, because it has collaborative, and it's a very good way to teach people. I mean, my middle son taught himself Russian
Oh, wow.
on a laptop because he went out and bought stickers to put over the top of the keyboard.
Right?
Learn Russian because
That's great. I mean, if you found a Russian server to get onto, then yeah, they'd all be
Well,
speaking
I'm just
Russian.
thinking with mods, it's gonna be language.
Oh, I'm sure there are. Yeah,
Microsoft has
absolutely.
it, it's gonna be-
Oh, well, you can change the language on it.
That's what I'm.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You could go in and change it so that everything is
So the
Russian.
Spanish teacher could say, hey, we're gonna do Minecraft, all we're gonna be is.
Spanish, right? Absolutely. And then everything would be changed.
Hammer's a hammer, doesn't really matter what language you say, but.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We had a kid accidentally change it to Dutch upstairs. That was really fun. I had to figure out. Well, yeah, that was my task. I was like, I don't know that I know enough Dutch, but I think I know where all the keys are. So I'm just going to go this way and we'll get it hopefully changed back. Yeah, it's the possibilities are really endless. And I think that's why we sort of are really trying to support it and use it. And
So if you guys want it on a dedicated service, whether it's segregated from most people.
we do, yeah. All of our worlds run off the same server. One little poor overclocked computer in the back there just churns away 24/7.
But it doesn't take much, really.
No. Well, no, and I'm running a server off this laptop right now that all these computers are connected to. We've found that just this little non-gaming little work laptop can support 17 laptops actively playing Minecraft. So long as I'm not playing on this one as well. If I'm trying to play on this one, then I can only do about 12. So it's not very intensive. It's a pretty
When I first saw it, I was looking at it.
yeah, it is like the old school. The first one, yeah. So like
Yeah.
QB
Because
bed.
everything was locked.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and like I said, that's for a purpose. That's so that you can run it on anything.
It's the universe.
Yeah, it's that everybody can access it.
Thanks for the
Yeah. So that's that. That's what I've got for you. If there's any other questions, be great. And if not, it's cool. We're done. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Tell me what your new project is.